Hi guys, so welcome back. This is your extended reading for everybody that chose pile number 3 for what your Akashic records most want to tell you to do with the nodes of the moon shifting into Gemini North Node, Sagittarius South Node. Cool, so let's see what is going off with everything else we said to do with these energies too. I mean, I definitely can see you are all going to have an expansion to do with your own psychic abilities and psychic energy, because we've got these cards here. I always think of like the Queen of Cups is super psychic, and I mean the High Priestess is the most psychic. Interestingly though, you've got Page of Inspirations reversed, but weirdly, in the way that I'm seeing it, it kind of seems like it reminds me of this energy that I was saying about Aquarius in the other video. I just really feel like somehow you're going to be able to channel energy from a higher consciousness. So you've got this thing about maybe getting some real maverick ideas that are coming through, and they're going to get almost like, I don't know, basically it's going to turn your reality upside down for a little bit, just so that you get used to getting used to the unexpected, right? This is just this really big thing that just keeps coming up, and I think it's really it's like really trying to, once again, like I said, that Uranus energy just feels really strong for you guys, like turn things on its head, and this feels like the turning things on its head. And I do think some of this is that you guys are just going to be so much more in tune with yourself and reality in a way that you've never been before. I think you're going to start to become aware of some illusions and things in your life and also in the structures of reality, but it's actually going to be quite a liberating, like breath of fresh air. And I know, I'm sure breath of fresh air, we mentioned that before as well. I can just really feel like that kind of coming through. And it also makes me think as well that I do think you really will be able to hear what your granddad wants to tell you. All you have to do is trust yourself that you can, because it's like all of this kind of psychic type of energy. Now I remember really thinking and feeling that this Wheel of Fortune was in that kind of position, because I do feel like there's a choice that is essentially something that you're going to have to make. And I do think it's almost like, you know, I'm just kind of like feeling like the collective energy of what your granddads were kind of like saying, like, oh, when I saw your grandma, I just knew she was the one and I just went for her. It's like that kind of vibe. But that was a choice, right? He didn't have to choose to do that or be like that. Or he could have thought, oh, that is the woman for me, but I don't feel good enough. Or no, I can't go. Or what if she doesn't like me? Oh no, this is never going to work out. Like they just didn't do that. He just saw like something that was in alignment with his heart, and then just went for it and just completely committed. And I do feel like that's very much a choice that you guys are going to have to make at some point during this time period. And like I say, although I've used the example of a relationship, because it's what your granddad was saying, it can be anything, right? It could be the life purpose, it could be a creative project, it could even be a business, it could be a career. I don't know, it could be anything, but I'm really getting this thing about, at some point there's this thing about you have to make a choice, and it is really about either going all in or going off in a different direction. And your Akashic records want you to know that, you know, either way you will be fully supported, and you will fully, like, the universe will fully support you and accept whatever you decide. But just know that that is a choice point coming, and you'll know when it comes, and then you will actually be able to feel within yourself, well, do you really want to commit in that kind of way or not? And then that's going to basically create this kind of a bit of a fork in your destiny about, are you going in this direction or are you going in this direction, which in itself is exciting. I think choices, because this is the thing, Gemini and Sagittarius, it's very much about, they love friggin' options. Like, give them a shitload of options. They just love it, right? They just totally and utterly love it. And it's kind of that kind of thing. I do feel like there'll be lots and lots of options coming up to do with many different ways. But ultimately, if you want to be successful in whatever these new things come up over this time period, you really need to commit, particularly because on a more lower vibration side of Gemini and Sagittarius, they're just flighty. They can be so flighty and non-committal. So there's very much this balance. And I do really think this is something that you guys... listen to your intuition, right? Your intuition will absolutely guide you. This is what I'm getting, right, from your Akashic records. Your intuition is going to tell you that when this thing is about to appear, or if it's already appeared, or what this thing is, right? If you're not aware of what it is yet, it's probably not come yet. But when it does start to appear, before it comes into your physical reality, you're going to have an intuitive feeling that it's coming. Then when it does come, there's a choice for you to make. And how you decide to make that choice is listen to your intuition. Listen to your intuition and follow the thing that makes you feel free, liberated and excited, but that it's still coming from a heart place. So you don't want to necessarily go for, like, your Akashic records are saying, don't be a magpie and just go after the shiny thing. If that is making you feel excited and stuff like that, no worries, but just recognize that it's like fool's gold, right? All that glitters is not gold. Whatever this thing is that you're going to feel coming intuitively, and then you'll realize you have to either commit or not. It's something that you will feel in your heart space as a real deep connection to your soul, either a person or a situation or an opportunity. There won't be anything flighty about it, right? Just use your intuition to decide what it is that you want to do. That is totally what I'm getting with that, which is kind of really cool. I like it. Right, now I want to see, I want to know a bit more, what is this opportunity? Can we have a bit more information about what this opportunity is? So let's see. So we have the Strength card. Wow. So we have 2 major arcana. So it's something pretty fated. I'm actually getting that the eclipses, so I don't know if you remember in the video that I did on YouTube, Pick a Card, at the beginning, I did a little bit about the astrology and I put up almost like a slide of the eclipse dates. There's something significant about those eclipse dates for you, and it'll be different dates for each of you. And I do think if you look at your astrology charts, you can see what is going to be hitting significant things in your chart that will give you an idea. But definitely there's something about the eclipses. I feel like the solar eclipse as well for a lot of you. That won't be for all of you because obviously there's so many of you, but for a lot of you I really feel like it's something about the solar eclipse, because we've got a sun here that looks like the sun here. This is like Leo, who rules the sun. There's something about the solar eclipse. Solar eclipse, the type of energy that's really going to be it's going to be presenting you with this option that we talked about here, right? There's something about that. There's something that's quite almost like, what's really cool is I'm hearing this. It's fated for you, but you have a choice within it. So there's complete free will. It's just that the opportunity coming is fated, but you have to decide consciously whether you want it or not. It's your free will. And I'm also hearing that for some of you, it's not so much an opportunity of something, it's a massive realization that you suddenly have about someone or something. You have a massive sudden realization about it, and then it's up to you to decide, do you act on that realization or do you not? That's what I'm really getting to do with that. Oh, I'm really excited for you. I love stuff like this. I really love it when the universe comes in with these kind of like, I want to call them like high stake poker games. I just love it because you just know your reality can seriously shift depending on what you decide to do. But once again, my guys were saying, remember to tell them this: whatever you choose, you will be fully supported, accepted, and life will try and do everything it can to guide you in whichever direction that you choose. So very much like that, and it did make me think of this. The other one as well had this thing about The Alchemist by Paul, you know that person? I can't even think, the famous person that wrote The Alchemist, the book. There's something about when you decide something, all of the universe conspires to support you. There's that kind of thing. So whatever you decide to do about this thing, whether it becomes off an actual opportunity or a sudden really deep realization that you have about something, whatever you decide, and go all in on, the universe will completely support you. Okay, so you don't have to worry about if you're making the right or the wrong choice, because this is the amazing thing about Sagittarius and Gemini energy, particularly Gemini energy. There is no right and wrong, because everything is interesting, exciting, and everything, and there isn't really no, to be honest, sometimes Sagittarius can see things quite judgmentally, like this is right and this is wrong, and I believe this and I believe that. But if you look at it in another way, like when the Sagittarius energy is more of a traveller, it steps a bit more into that Gemini thing of like, I just want an adventure. Every adventure is great. I love every adventure, no matter what it brings me. And there's very much that kind of energy going off on the next 18 months. So it's really cool, because I can really feel that, you know, Cancer and Capricorn, the energies that we've just come from, definitely Capricorn has very much a thing about, I think, like, it sees certain things as productive and certain things as non-productive, and therefore reality is quite rigid. Okay, so therefore things that you might have done in that time period, those last 18 months, might have had very definite responses, whereas now when we go into the Gemini and Sagittarius energy, there is nowhere near that kind of rigidity with stuff. There just is not. Reality is so much more flexible, and therefore in some ways it's way more forgiving if we take a certain detour, let's say. There isn't really a punishment, I suppose is what I'm trying to say with Gemini and Sagittarius. There's not really a punishment. There's definitely long detours for sure. There's definitely detours, and there's definitely distractions. That's one thing to watch out for with this energy. There's a lot of distractions, but there isn't really any punishment for stuff, which is really, really cool. And just remember that when it comes to you making this really big decision, whatever you do, the universe will support you, and you will make it work, and the universe will make it work. But just really, if you can, it really reminds me of this Leo energy as well. Like Leo in astrology, like follow your heart. Follow your heart, because your heart will guide you there. It will totally guide you there, but you do have to trust, right? And for that, listen to your intuition. So that's what I'm really going with that. Now, let's see, what is the booby trap for you guys to be mindful of with everything that's going on? Ooh. What is the booby trap? Again, I'm going to read, I will read these reversed, so we'll see what we get. Okay, so Ace of Pentacles, 8 of Cups in reversed. I love that card, it looks cool in this one. And Ace of Emotions in reversed, really interesting. I don't really get in this yin-yang energy for some reason, and I can't quite tell you why. Whoop. But I'm oh, by the way, I think there's a chance one of the booby traps is to think that something is over when it is not. That's a sideways booby trap, by the way. That's not the major booby trap, but just be mindful. Something that you think is over is not. And that can have many different connotations, and I'm seeing it as like a friggin' full range of connotations for all of you guys, so I'm not going to channel it any more than that because it's very different for all of you. But just remember that, or those words might echo back to you when it's relevant. Something that you think is over is not. And also something that kind of never really got off the ground. It's something that never quite got off the ground is not over, basically. Okay, anyway, let's just see, what is the major booby trap? So I'm feeling this real thing about yin and yang. I think it's because these kind of remind me for some reason of like the yin energy and the yang energy in, like, you know, that circle with the black and the white that's in Chinese medicine. And definitely with that black thing being in the beginning. Okay, so I've seen a few things of this actually. Another thing that I'm getting, and it's not the major thing yet, but obviously we're getting closer and closer, but another booby trap is just be mindful. Okay, this might come out more when we see what is the mentor for you, but I'm really getting that essentially somebody has told you something really, really significant to your growth. Or if that doesn't resonate, somebody will be telling you something really, really significant to do with your self-growth, and essentially to do with you basically creating what you want in life. But just be really mindful that you don't hear that guidance, you don't hear that information. And what your Akashic Records is saying is that this is where actually there is something quite significant for you guys to do with where that South Node is in your houses where Sagittarius is. Because in that house, wherever you've got that in your chart, and obviously then I'll read this for you if you don't know where it is in your chart, but for those of you that do, if you know what's in your house where Sagittarius is, you've got a really, I'm hearing the word belligerent belief about something. And that belligerent belief is potentially going to block you from either having heard this useful information that you've bypassed, or when this information comes in the future from somebody, you just don't acknowledge it because it just is completely... I'm getting that you've kind of like built... you sort of like built some of your persona or your image around this belligerent belief, and so you're going to feel defensive when somebody has given you this guidance, or somebody is going to give you this guidance. So that's one of the things. If you want to try and work out what this is, use your intuition to, if you've heard of it, yes or no. If you haven't already heard this, or you think you've been given this guidance, work back to like, was I really resistant to that? I mean, like really resistant, because, you know, belligerent is kind of like quite stubborn. It's something that you've been really, really stubborn about this guidance. If you tuned into yourself and you really didn't feel like it's come yet, the sign is you'll know when this happens to you in the future, because you will feel really resistant and distinctly stubborn to this guidance. And that's something that you need to hear, because what I was really getting with this card here is that there's a good chance, one of the booby traps is that you might bypass some really important information that somebody gives you because you're too stubborn to do with it. Okay, so that's also a side note. Gosh, I feel like you guys have got a huge load of different side notes. Now let me just feel into the overall booby trap. I have to admit, the other ones, their block came out like bam. You guys, your block is not coming out so fast. Your booby trap is not coming out so fast. So definitely be mindful of this, right? Because it's really concealed. So I think you have to be super consciously vigilant to do with whatever this is. But your Akashic Records is also saying that's because something about this really helps lead you to this wishing well, this wish come true. And because that's of such a high vibration, it's almost like, I'm hearing the things from Think and Grow Rich, like failure is a trickster, because when you're so close to that breakthrough, to getting what you want, it comes in to try and trick you into believing that it's not here and you won't ever get it. And so many people sometimes fall at that last hurdle. And there's something about this where the booby trap is like falling at the last hurdle. So that's also something to do with it, where if you feel that whatever this thing is coming up in the future, when you'll know when you're coming to it, because it's something where you'll feel like really resistant to just give it one more try, is what I'm hearing. Like to just, I don't know, try that one more time on your like website, or try that one more time with your book, or try one more time to do with, you know, being in a loving relationship, or whatever it might be, because it can be so many different things. Like when you feel like you just can't give it one more try, but it's something that's really close to your heart, give it one more try. Because the booby trap would be that you allow your emotions, allowing your emotions to just pull you off track to do with this, when you're like so frigging close to the wishing well, so close to the wishing well. So it's kind of like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's kind of like life is just going to slightly test you But you know what? This is really annoying. What I'm hearing from your Akashic records is that this is part of that playful thing of Gemini, right? Gemini can be a trickster, a total trickster. And in some way, life is just going to have a little play with you in that way. But it's not designed to in any way be punishing or... I'm getting it's designed to help you expect the unexpected within yourself. I don't know why that unexpected thing keeps coming up, but it's like through going through this scenario and triumphing in this kind of way, you will have exposed yourself to something within you which you didn't think that you had. And this then becomes a massive, like, I don't know, power punch to your reality is what I'm seeing. Of like a real confidence, a real confidence, but at the same time like a massive heart opener. That's so cool. So that is what I'm getting with the block there. Now let's see the mentor. Who is the mentor that's coming into your reality? And I say mentor as well because Gemini North Node is very much this mentor energy because it loves learning. It friggin' loves learning for the love of learning. And also it does like to apply it in practical ways, okay, to basically bring itself, I would say, more playfulness and more fun in its life in whatever way that might be. So for you, that's money, it'll be money. If it's for you, it's love, it could be love. It could be ideas, it could be creativity. It could be being acknowledged for something. It could be anything really. So let's see what this mentor is. Who is this mentor? And in what way are they going to help? Okay, the moon. Take note of intuitive messages. You see, that goes back to that thing about you're going to know what this thing is if it's already happened, or when it's about to happen, you'll know. You've got to listen to everything we've talked about. Just seriously apply your intuition with all of it. That's for certain. That's a very feminine. Oh, no way. And we literally have the trickster. And what were we just talking about? The trickster. I friggin' love it when cards do this. I love it so, so much. Okay. Just one second, just while I feel into this. Because it's interesting, the moon can be very much like hold illusions too. Oh, you know, I know what this is. I don't know how much you're going to like this. I know who this is. It is this person here that we were talking about. Whoever is this person that has already told you something that you've been really resistant and stubborn to, or it's this person that you haven't met yet that will tell you something that you're really stubborn and resistant to. This is this mentor that's coming in. And the reason why I say this is because, oh gosh, it's so difficult to explain. I can literally see it in a whole load of things that I just don't have any words for. So just give me 1 second. I just want to get the Akashic records just to give it me a little bit more freaking comprehensible. 1 sec. Wait a sec. By the way, this as well is why you guys are needing to make sure that you've got that really like agile mind that we talked about. Because even me doing your reading, I don't know, it's just been, how would I say it? It has almost been more Aquarius in its energy. It's been unique is what I'm trying to say. It's been quite unique. And, you know, I think this is what life is just going to encourage you to do as well, to kind of like bring out some unique part within you that ultimately you have suppressed for a very, very long time. And I think you've suppressed this unique part of you for so long that actually I don't really even think that you know. I think you've suppressed it so long that you don't even recognise the truth within it, even when somebody is trying to tell you something to do with it in some way, which is what we've talked about here. Like this stubbornness to do with something. And I almost see as well, like, you're going to think this person is trying to trick you in some way, as in they're not telling the truth, what they're saying is not relevant to you, it's a waste of time. So you're going to think they're kind of like a trickster, and that essentially they're full of illusions, and let's be honest, like bullshit in some way, right? But the irony is, they're not trying to trick you. It's your own subconscious limiting beliefs which is trying to trick you into not listening to what they're saying. Because if you do listen to what they're saying and you start to apply it, it will mean, I'm hearing like an old part of you is going to die. As in, like, and when I say die, I mean like an old belief within you is going to die. You know what I mean? And there's going to be a new you that kind of gets rebirthed through it. I suppose that's a bit like the death card here, like the death and rebirth. I'm really getting that. Because this reminded me of an egg. And funny enough, I really don't know why, this reminded me of a tadpole egg as well. Or this reminded me like of an egg, and this reminded me of sperm coming in. And then that also then goes back to this thing that we're saying about the creativity and sex energy here. There's definitely something that's wanting to be created. But for it to be created, I do think you have to let go of something within yourself that you have stubbornly been holding on to. And the truth is, I'm seeing two things, right? And this is for all of you. I'm seeing one that's an internal thing. So like it's an internal thing that you are stubborn to do with. And then I'm seeing one which is an external thing. It's like a specific set of actions that you are refusing to take. And the funny thing is, you're refusing to take those actions because of this internal belief that you're refusing to let go of to do with yourself. I mean, this is quite deep. But this is cool as well. I like it. I really like it. Maybe as well, your granddad is going to be able to give you some guidance on this too. Maybe. Maybe there's even something in your family history that could give you a key to do with something with this. But that's not for everybody, okay? Just only take that if that resonates. But that's really what I'm getting here for you guys. Okay, cool. Also, right, let me just pull one more card and then we're just going to do something else. I've got like a quick shamanic tool that I can share with you so you guys can use it to also help you with this situation. But one second. I'm just going to choose a card now. And then I'm going to read out from the book as well. So this is a card specific for you guys. You can also meditate on it. No freaking way. Pile 1 also got this. And you know what? The throat chakra is completely related to the Gemini energy because it's all about communicating your authentic truth. I'm really getting as well, this is about you hearing your authentic truth from somebody else, because ultimately the throat chakra in Gemini is all about communication. It doesn't necessarily mean speaking, it can also mean listening, and there's definitely something within all of that. And I did really get that this mentor, the mentor is quite key, because I felt like this was the mentor, the hermit here, that card that we pulled up earlier on. But I also feel like this is a philosophical way of looking at yourself and life. Definitely. Like I say, this is quite deep for sure. Okay, let me just read this one out here for you. Okay, so throat chakra. It says, speak up, choose your words wisely, truth through love. The unspeakable is spoken, and the spoken never heard, but felt by the masses across the earth. You have a feeling for that one. Told you there's some philosophical thing going on. So it says here, this mandala brings powerful guidance and healing of the throat chakra. It is important to acknowledge the power of one's voice and the impact it may have on others, the collective consciousness and your own vibration. The voice is a sacred portal to one's truth. This card brings a reminder that our truth is infinitely governed by the power of love. If there is no love within your words, how can you be speaking from the heart? Speaking one's truth is a powerful act, and it is one's actions that will reverberate across all levels of space and time. So allow the gateway of your heart to speak directly through the throat chakra, filtering all thoughts, feelings, and emotions. This is really interesting. Sorry, I'm just getting a few things coming through. Just give me one quick second. Okay, fine. No, cool. I just wanted to just check that I was going to be doing the right shamanic tool with you, and my guides are like, yeah, no, that is the one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just very, very quickly, I'm going to show you how to activate your natural frequency colour set. Your natural frequency colour set is a set of colours that's completely unique to you. It is not your aura, because your aura changes colours depending on how you're feeling, how you're thinking, where you've just been, and where you're potentially just about to go to in terms of past and present and future. Your natural frequency colour set is just a set level of colours that vibrates to the frequency of your unique energetic signature, which is an expression of your highest potential, okay? The reason why my guides and your Akashic records are saying we need to do this is because, you know, we talked about Aquarius energy a bit and Uranus energy a bit. This is always, and we talked about being unique, right? And the unique thing is really key. This is all about, from the throat chakra point of view as well, being authentically you, like stepping into that true part of your authenticity. And it's interesting because in the very beginning, I think it was on the video on YouTube, first of all, we talked about the thing about how you've got some roots, right, to do with who you are, where you've been, where you've come from. And essentially you need to cut away some things that are no longer useful, but some of them are useful. You might not like them, but it's also about accepting them, and that is also part of this authenticity, okay? And really stepping into your authenticity, because you really are a sum of everything and everywhere that you've come from. And it's not about, and it's just really about accepting of all things to do with you. But it really is also as well about really tapping into your heart energy. I just feel like that is also super, super important, and listening to your intuition. So anyway, let us do this because it's going to activate those within you. How you want to use these is they're super quick to activate. You can use them whenever you want to energetically start vibrating at your highest potential. If you don't know what to do about a situation, if you're going into an interview, if you're going on a date, if you're about to ask somebody an important question, whatever it might be, you get really creative. Even if you feel like your body has given you some aches and pains, you first of all listen to what they've said, because obviously we talked about that being important for you guys, but then you kind of want to release it and flush it out. You can do these colours too. I'll leave, I think I've got a link on my Facebook page or YouTube. I've got some links to do with that. I'm going to leave them below so you can research it. Anyway, now let me just quickly activate these ones for you. We're going to involve two of your highest chakras as well, your 9th chakra and your 10th chakra. Your 9th chakra is a gold star above your head. It's called the soul star chakra. Your 10th chakra is a silver star below your feet. It can also be seen as a Taurus field. It depends for all of you. Mine will do both and all of yours will do both. Just go with the silver star first of all because it's easier to visualize. And that is just below your feet, and that's called your earth star chakra, okay? So, said that already quick, sorry. What I want you to do now is just close your eyes. And I want you to just take a few deep breaths in and all the way out. And just keep doing that. And all of your body is just suddenly going to relax and go into a receptive state. And the more you relax with your breathing, the more your body consciousness is going to start naturally aligning itself so that everything is vibrating and moving the way that it is best for you in this moment. Okay, now some of you have got a bit of a block over your heart, so what I want all of you to do is I just want you to visualize I don't usually work with angels, but one's just coming in, so we're going to go with that. You want to visualize an angel just coming in and just removing this block from around your heart. It's like a bit of a, I don't know, almost like a wall around your heart. Just let that angel do that now. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so now what I want you to do is just visualize a gold star above your head. If you can't visualize it, just trust that it's there, because I can see all of yours right now. And this takes energy in from the universe, gold energy from the universe, which then goes into the gold star above your head, and then it goes into your heart space. And that gold energy starts to go all the way around your heart. Now you want to visualize the silver star below your feet, your earth star chakra. Again, just trust that it's there. And then visualize, I can see all your silver stars. They look great. They really do. And now just visualize energy coming up from the earth. Silver energy coming up from the earth into the silver star below your feet and then into your heart. And this is where it starts to dance with the gold energy. So this is again a bit like you're reading those two energies coming together to create something unique. They go all the way, dance around your heart, the gold and the silver. And then in a moment that's right for you, you see the gold and the silver energy push a whole load of colours out of your heart, which starts to just go all the way around your body. It could be anything from 1 to 3 or even 4 or even 5 colours. I have 3 colours. Notice these colours all the way around you, and then I just want you to breathe them in and then breathe them out. And breathe them in and breathe them out. And now I just want you to feel into yourself, and I want you to ask to be shown your feeling totem. And that is just basically the feeling that you get when your natural frequency colour set is activated. It can be absolutely anything, but it's a feeling. Mine is, it feels like a stone is slowly dropping to the bottom of a lake, and then the sunlight is just shining on that stone when it's at the bottom of the lake, and it feels amazing. So note what your feeling totem is, and note what the colours are of your natural frequency colour set. And then when you're ready in your own time, you can open your eyes. So they're really quick and easy to activate. You don't even have to have your eyes closed after a while. Just recognize the feeling totem, because that's really important, because you want to make sure that you get that feeling when you've activated those colours. It's just really, really important. So basically, that's something for you guys to use in meditation. You know, like I said, a bit of meditation is probably going to be important to help you integrate everything that's going on. Use those colours whenever you need to, particularly when you're trying to work out what is a trick and what is not. Go into meditation or just relax yourself, get those colours around you, and then see what intuitive, because remember your intuition is going to be really, really powerful, and see what intuitive answers you get once you're in that space. And then it's just about trusting them. Because do remember, over this 18-month period, there's this really incredible wish fulfillment coming through. And it's interesting as well, because we talked a lot about the Aquarius energy, and Aquarius rules the 11th house, and the 11th house can also be known as wish fulfillment too. It's really cool. Can be a really lucky house. But remember, expect the unexpected. Cool, so I hope you found that useful. And yeah, please just use that that thing about your natural frequency colour set whenever you need and get creative with it. It's really cool. I totally love it. But awesome, that's what your Akashic Records wanted to tell you about this. So hopefully you see you for some more pick a cards later, and enjoy. Bye.